Title: Blooming Hearts. In the sprawling coastal city of Aurelia, where gleaming skyscrapers touched the clouds and high walls shielded the estates of the wealthy, there lived a young gardener named Eli. His life was simple. He rose with the sun, tended to the roses, watered the lilies, and shaped the hedges with patient hands. He worked for the prestigious Vanderfield estate, home to one of the city's wealthiest families. The Vanderfields were rarely seen except for their only daughter, Clara. At 23, Clara was poised, graceful, and accustomed to being surrounded by luxury. But behind her polished smile was a heart restless for authenticity. One spring morning, she wandered into the garden in a flowing white dress, barefoot on the grass, curious about the man who kept the flowers so perfectly alive. Eli, startled, nearly dropped his watering can. She asked him about a rare blue orchid he had just planted. Instead of giving the standard answer, Eli told her the orchid's story, how it only bloomed once a year, and only when cared for with patience and love. From that day on, Clara visited the garden often, each time lingering a little longer. She brought him books on plants, and he taught her how to prune roses without hurting them. Their laughter began to mingle with the sound of rustling leaves. But their world was fragile. One afternoon, Clara's father, Richard Vanderfield, caught them talking. He saw the dirt on Eli's hands, the sun-bleached threads of his shirt, and decided this friendship was unsuitable. He forbade Clara from seeing the gardener, warning her about the difference in their worlds. Weeks passed. Clara stopped coming to the garden, and Eli's days felt heavier. But one rainy evening, Clara appeared at the greenhouse door, soaked to the skin. She whispered, "I'd rather have a life of flowers with you than a palace without love." They met in secret after that, building a bond in stolen moments, tending moonflowers at night, pressing their hands together in the damp soil. Still, Richard grew suspicious. He arranged for Clara to be sent abroad for charity work, believing distance would break them. On the night before her departure, Eli led Clara to the center of the garden, where the blue orchid had bloomed at last. In its petals, Clara saw the truth: love, rare and fragile, must be protected. Months later, Richard fell gravely ill. Clara returned home to manage the estate and discovered that Eli, despite being dismissed, had still been tending the garden out of loyalty. She told her father the truth about Eli's kindness and devotion. Seeing his daughter's happiness, Richard relented. A year later, under an archway of roses in full bloom, Clara and Eli were married in the garden where it all began. The blue orchid, in its solitary bloom, was placed between them, a reminder that love, when nurtured, can grow even in the most unexpected soil.